not a personal matter as far as I'm concerned.
But what do you think Yoweri Museveni wants through fighting? What is he after?
I don't know. If I knew, I would be very happy, because I really don't know. Museveni was a member of the military commission. He was number 2 in the military commission. He and the rest of the members of the military commission organized elections. And soon after elections, he decided to fight. And he hasn't progressed very much. In his own area where he was born, he's not effective, he's not known, and he's a refugee himself in another part of Uganda. So I really don't know what he wants.
Whatever the wrongs of his case, wouldn't it save a lot of life and a lot of money to talk to him?
I told you it is not a personal matter. Why do you think Museveni is all that important in this country? First of all, he's not a citizen. He's not a citizen.
Where is he?
He lost an election. He has no party which is viable in this country. Because he's a gunman. Your name is Robin. Do you remember the history of England called Robin Hood?
I do.
Yes? Is it worthwhile talking to Robin Hoods of this world? Bader-Meinhof in Germany? The Irish Republic Army people? Is it worthwhile talking to such gangsters and terrorists?
You say he's not a citizen. What do you mean by that?
Because his father was not born in Uganda. And that is the constitutional basis. So he cannot be a citizen.
The strongest advocate for talks is not coming from opposition politicians. It's coming from the
I have answered that question. I'm not going to answer anymore. I have said I do not accept any proposal about talks, and I'm going to make this an election issue. You wait for the votes.
Do you think the forthcoming elections could in any way lead to a way out of this impasse?
What impasse? There is no impasse. The mess of the country is very peaceful. Even Luero is very peaceful. We have administration in Luero.
But do you think after the elections that the trouble might end some way?
Please, I've told you I'm not answering anymore. If you came here to talk about the dissidents, Bob Museveni, let us stop this interview.
If I could turn to the election.
Why don't you talk about the whole western region, which is peaceful, much of Buganda, which is peaceful, the whole eastern region, the whole northern region? Why do you talk about a handful of gunmen? And you take my time, 30 minutes, 1 hour, to talk about a handful of gunmen? You came all the way from London for this purpose? No wonder members of parliament in Britain sometimes talk about starving the BBC from funds, because you waste public funds in this type of way.
If I could turn to the elections, how do you see the next elections going?
It's going to be conducted in the normal way.
Do you think you're going to win these elections?
I think so. I can't see another party that can win this election. Our record is there. We have done some work that in 1980 people didn't know which direction Uganda would go. Everything was declining. Not today. So that with that kind of record, I can't see another party really giving us a terrible challenge.
Will you stand on your economic record, will you?
Every record, political, economic, and otherwise.
If I could talk about the economy, which things have gone well and which things have gone badly?
We started from almost position 0. Everything has started moving upwards. Obviously, they cannot all move at the same speed.
Would you accept that in the industrial sector it has been slow progress?
What could we have done in the industrial sector? We had no skilled manpower. We had machinery which had not been looked after for years. We had no raw materials. So industrial sector could not have progress at the same speed as the agricultural sector.
What are your biggest economic priorities at the moment?
Production. Production, we are asking the people of Uganda to produce anything that can be consumed in Uganda and anything that can be sold abroad.
How pleasing has the agricultural sector been to you?
You would have been very happy if you are a member of Uganda People's Congress or a member of this government. By two factors. One, we have food in Uganda. When I came to office, there was no food in Uganda. Now we are feeding ourselves, and we are exporting some of our food. Two, our export earnings are increasing. Now, these are most pleasing developments.
There have, I'm sure you're also aware, been criticisms of your human rights record in this country, particularly from the United States of America. Now, how upset have you been by the accusations?
I have not been upset in the way you probably think I should have been. I've been upset in the sense that if you refer to the statement made by one American official in August of last year, in that he made a generalized statement but could not give us evidence to prove that the facts of that statement. If you go to Luero, you will not find any single possibility that a government such as mine could have murdered about 250,000 people within a few months, and yet no graves and no statement from the general public. So that one was very hurtful. But as I say, we are not trying to run this government for the pleasure of people abroad. We are trying to run this government for the good of the people of Uganda. And these are our people. These are our people. When people talk about human rights in Uganda,